Well, hello, hello, and welcome to 2024. A happy new year to all of you, to yourselves, your families, your friends. I hope the year turns out to be wonderful for you. So, it's Friday, and I am continuing this year with the monthly journal. Lots of you said that you wanted it to carry on. You also made some comments in that you would like to make ephemera, and you quite like the idea of it being something that's spread over the whole year. So I've done the months and various things, but do not worry, because if you don't want to be tied in for a year, you don't need to, because I'm going to do it in a way that each month could stand on its own, if that makes sense. Okay, enough talking, let's get on. Now, I'm sure, like me, with all the recent shopping that we've all done, you've got lots and lots of packaging, paper and boxes and the like. Now, I have got this box. This is one of those, I think they're called PIP boxes. They're the boxes that are accepted to go through the letterbox. So I'm going to use this as my cover. I also think it's quite a nice size. So that's going to be my cover. And I have got all of this packaging paper that I'm going to use to make my pages. So I'm just picking out the envelopes. There's more packaging paper. It's a plastic envelope. More paper. More paper. Another envelope. A thick paper, but we could use that. It's more of that thick paper, and there's even a couple of bits of corrugated card. So I'm going to get rid of this lot because we don't need that. But we've got all of that paper. Now what I suggest you do is get yourself a bag, a box, a tray, whatever, and put everything in it, and then you can, pull from it during the year. Right, now obviously I don't want these holes in here, but I want to cut all the fold lines. So I'm cutting on the fold lines initially, and then we'll look at how those holes affect us in a minute. Because then this is going to give us, I think, a nice size. Now, if you haven't got one of these boxes, obviously you could use an envelope, you could use a couple of pieces of cardboard and then make a spine. But I've got two words for this year. One is grow, and by grow I mean I want to learn lots and lots of new things. So I want to gradually teach myself new things. And the other thing is to use before I buy. I have got so much stuff rammed in this corner that I need to start using it up and making space. And I know at the new year we all say, we're going to spend less, buy less. Right, now as you can see, the lid is shorter, so we're going to have to go with that lid line. So what I'm going to do is draw a pencil line so I can see where I'm cutting, because the ruler doesn't reach the whole way. I'm going to have to do 2 scores. So we'll start there. And we'll see how we get on from there. So hopefully that's nice and straight. I like the idea of a year-long journal, I must admit. The year before last, I thought it was last year, but it wasn't. The year before last, I was part of Melanie over at Treasured Page journal swap, and basically what we did was we made something every month, we swapped it with somebody, and then those things made our journal. So we're basically doing the same here, although we're not swapping, we're just making our own. I think swaps are not as popular now. The cost of postage has made most of them pretty prohibitive. Right, so there you go. I think that's quite a nice size. I like a long journal. So for those of you that want to know, if you want to make it the same size but you haven't got one of these boxes, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's basically 27 and a pinch short of 28 by 5, 10, 15, 18. So it's basically 28 by 18. That's what I'm doing, but only because I had this box. Okay, so the first things we want to do is we want to set about covering this front, and I am going to use this packaging paper. So this is the type of paper that comes in an Amazon box. I'm sure you've all seen it, especially if you've purchased from Amazon. So I'm going to use clear PVA. I should have my dirty mat up, especially as I've got my brand new mat here. That's a bit naughty, isn't it? Let's get a dirty mat, because I don't want to ruin my brand new mat. Oh, okay, that way. Take a paintbrush, spread it out so that the whole thing is covered. And obviously, because of the size of my dirty mat, and only that reason, I'm going to do one half first. So lay this down. You've seen me do this a million times, I know you have. Screw it up a little bit, get some interesting wrinkles and the like going on. Okay, move it along, lift it up. Ugh, sticky glue. See, that'd have been all over my mat, wouldn't it? And then pick the paintbrush up again. And then we're just gonna do exactly the same and scrunch it and screw it up so it's nice and messy and interesting looking. Okay, get rid of our messy mat. Whoops, that must have felt like I was punching you in the eye with it. It was so high to the camera. Sorry about that. And then we're going to turn it over and let's cut it off. I'm trying to decide whether I was going to flip it over or cut it off. I'm going to cut it off. So I've lined up to the box, or the now cover that was a box, and I've just trimmed straight down. Whoops. I'm going to do the same one here. Obviously it's starting to curl because it's wet on one side, but as soon as we wet this side, that's going to straighten back out. For some reason I can't. What's happened here? Right, that's that bit. It's too small to keep. Just keep going, trim it all the way round. Okay, got an odd little bit like that. Just tear it off because we want it wrinkled and messy. That's not a problem. Come down here, trim this off. And then down the last side. And then I'm going to do exactly the same to this side. Okay, so now we get our missing mat back up, and I'm going to do exactly the same to this side. So, glue, paintbrush. Whoops, I nearly put all those scraps in my coffee then. That's no good, is it? Make sure you get right up to the edges. That's why you want your messy mat. I haven't asked. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. And if nothing else, you managed a few days rest and recuperation through the holiday time. That's that one. Sorry, I'm not very chatty. I'll be honest, too much talking starts me coughing from this nasty, horrible, coldy. Oh, that's a bit flat. We don't want that, Claire. This nasty, horrible cold thing that hubby and I have had. So, also, of course, we've just been here resting and having a very quiet Christmas. So I haven't got anything to talk to you about anyway. Okay, so let's now trim all this away again. A little bit harder to see this time because it's white on white. Right, that bit's got glue on, so I can't save it. Turn this round. Obviously this is quite thin paper, so in areas you're seeing glue come through. That's absolutely fine. And where I'm pressing on it, there are some areas where glue is squeezing out, which is why I'm not saving these bits of paper. Okay. One of the other things that I am going to be doing this year is I'm joining in the suggestion, shall we call it, or the project by Corrie Darman. She is doing a project called Little Bits of Lace 2024. It has a hashtag and I will put that in the description box. I just think it's going to be a nice thing to be involved in. I was lucky to get quite a haul of lace just before Christmas, so Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we have now got our cover covered. So it's no longer, apart from that little bit up there and that bit there, it's basically not white anymore. Not brown, it is now white. Goodness me. So I'm just reinforcing the folds. Ta-da! Okay, like that. Now I want to go around my non-gluey dirty mat and I want to ink it all up. So I'm using Walnut Stain Distress Oxide and I'm just going to rub all over. We've done this before to highlight our folds and stop this being white. Not doing the inside, just the outside. Okay, like that. Yeah, I'm now going to bend it in and I'm going to do all of the edges like that and down that spine fold. You can use any ink. If you're new to junk journaling and you don't have any ink, you can use a felt tip. That works just as well, to be honest. But I've got these products, so I might as well use them. Okay. And I know one of my subbies will be super pleased to see I've started the year with some grunge. Okay, done. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? I can hear the postman, so I'm sorry if Boo goes off alarming in a minute. There are some little bits that are going to need trimming, but while it's all a bit gluey, I really want to leave that alone and let that set up dry, and then I can look at trimming those off. Okay, now I want to decorate, obviously, on that cover. Now I've got a bit of fabric. It's an old duvet, just because I've got it, because you know I've got very into sewing. You don't need fabric, you can definitely use paper. And I want this to sit roughly down the inside. As I say, it's an old bit of duvet cover, came from the local charity shop. I think I paid about £3. So you can do that quite easily. I'm going to trim that about there. I'll get rid of the threads because there is a lot when you tear it, but we love that. Right, I want it a bit thinner actually. I'm going to go there. That's how we get that lovely tear line. You know, all raggedy. Love it. Right. So I've got rid of our threads. That, yeah, that's the size that I want it. So basically what I've done is I've allowed an inch on the sides. And, oh, I can't see that one. And an inch and a half top and bottom. Okay? Very roughly. I'm now going to bring this in, and I was given for Christmas from my lovely friend Denise some new stencils, and I have got this one that has got amazing script on it. I have got more, but that, as you can see, I've already used it once. I do love it. I've also got this one that's got postal marks on. And I have got this one that I also love with all these letters. This feels a little bit modern for the project that I'm doing at the moment. This is the one that I want. So, we've used Distress Oxide, so we now want a different brown Distress Oxide. We used, sorry, the Walnut Stain. I'm now going to use the Ground Espresso. But again, if you don't have it, use what you've got. This is the year, remember? So it's a different brown, and I'm just going to come through and you'll notice I'm deliberately putting the brush with a fresh amount of ink on it in different places. That's going to make sure that I've got different colours, you know, different tones running through it, and then I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. There we go. Pick that up, and we've got this lovely font. That is going in the centre there, like that. Now you can do it, as I say, with any kind of excuse me, any type of, what's the word I'm looking for, help me out here, paper or stencil that you require. I'm just using fabric and brown. I nearly used my ink brush then, did you see that? I'm just going to spread out a bit more glue. And I'm deliberately doing this because when I put this down, I'm hoping that some of the colour from the background may transfer through from the back. There you go. Yeah, you can see, look, some of those lines are starting to come through from the back. I need to just straighten that back up again. It's going to be a really, really nice sized journal. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Now, obviously, I want to build this up. Now, looking at the lace thing of Corey's, the little pieces of lace. Here we go. What have we got here? And I'm going to want a picture as well. So let me quickly find my Witchcraft Do You Do folder. Okay, so I think I'm going for this gentleman here. I mean, I haven't even looked any further. I just think that he's really nice. So I'm going to use my tear ruler. I'm going to ignore all that framework. I don't want the framework, don't need it. And we're going to have a little bit more off the top. Not much, just a little bit. Like that. That's lovely. I'm going to get some ink around the edges. And then just run that through my bristles to make sure there's no white edges showing. That is going to sit probably, I don't want everything centred, so probably off to that side there so that you can see plenty of writing. But I want some lace, so what have we got here? This is not really lace, but it's from an old top. I quite like this. Scissors. So I think we're gonna chop a bit like that. We're gonna build this up a bit like this. Okay. I've got this old doily. Do you know what? I'm just wondering if I just put that on there as a whole. With him on top. See, I'm just playing, really. And obviously, I've straight away broken Corrie's rule because it's not a little bit of lace at all, is it? But I quite like it. So you have to forgive me, Corrie, for not abiding to little pieces. See, he's ending up going this side now, isn't he? Yes, I like that, and I just feel like I need a little bit more something here. Sorry, procrastination and all that. Do you know what? I'm going to snip out this little tiny rosette that's in the middle because I want to use that. It's getting hidden anyway. I don't want to waste it. I'm going to use that for something else. I think that's what was bugging me. And I'm going to cut this triangle off here as well. So maybe I'm saving little pieces of lace rather than using little pieces. Oh dear. Anyway, so we got that, and that. He can then sit there quite happily, like that. I'm just wondering, because I've got some awesome fabric from this bundle that I managed to acquire. Look at this. How gorgeous. No, because it's not fair, because you won't all have things like that. But I'm sure you'll be able to find a couple of little pieces of lace. So, oops, I'm going to find my fabric glue. I mean, you don't need it, to be honest. You can use PVA. PVA seriously works just as well on fabric as it does on paper. And then we'll just put a little bit under there and a little bit round there. Okay. And then we are going to put some PVA on the back of it. Whoops. See? Jenga. I've lost my glue, that's why. There it is. It's buried under all that fabric. Right. Now, because this is only copier paper, you've got to be a little bit careful, otherwise we'll be changing the colours that are on the front of it. So I just noticed that there's no glue there, so just a little bit of glue there. Hold that down like so, and then pick him up, and we're going to put him about there. Decision has been made. Okay, I'm conscious that obviously I am bending this, so because it's still damp, once it dries it will be much sturdier. So there you go. There is our cover and the start of our year journal, which we're going to work on month by month. So the first week of January is to get a cover made. Now the argument is, if you don't want to sign up for the year, which I totally get, this will create you a nice small journal in its own right, because this is almost an inch spine. I seem to remember to go in the post, these pip boxes are 2.5 centimetres. So there you go. That's what we did today, using stuff that we had. The reclaimed packaging paper, a reclaimed duvet, reclaimed top and doily. To be honest, this DigiKit is the only thing, and obviously the stencil, but they're the only things that are new. I love it lots. I hope you've enjoyed it. Got some inspiration. You're going to craft along with me through the year. Even if it's not every week, if you just pop in and out, it'll be great to see you. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.